Good morning, class. So what did we learn yesterday in math? Yes, we went over what a ruler was and how it is actually used. We know that we have to make sure that the ruler is turned toward the correct side that we want, and this one is measuring in inches or centimeters. So we pick the side that we want and we make sure we start where the beginning of the lines start, at the beginning of the ruler, not at the very end of the ruler, but where the measurements actually start. Then we see how far the object actually goes down the line, and that determines how many inches the object actually is. Does anyone know what length actually means? Yes, it is actually how long something is from the beginning to the end of the object or the line or whatever it is that you are measuring. Does anyone know what unit of measurement length is described with and what you can use to determine how long something is? These are all great answers, but the actual unit that we're going to learn today are inches. Okay, we're going to draw a line on the board and we're going to measure it with our rulers. So draw this line really quick. Okay, then you're going to put the start of the line where the lines on the ruler, where the measurements on the ruler start. You're going to go all the way down the ruler and look. Can anyone tell me how long this line is? Good, correct. It is actually 6 inches long. Let's try another one. Let's draw a line down here. I'm going to use my ruler, so hopefully it will be kind of straight. Okay. Can anyone estimate how long this line is? How many inches do you think this is? Good guesses. Yes, so let's find out how long it actually is. So we put our ruler up here, the start of the lines on the ruler again, not the beginning of the ruler, but the beginning of the lines. And we look all the way down the ruler to the end, and it is about 10 inches. So that's how you measure a line. Today we're going to pick several different objects that you are going to be able to measure and estimate how long you'll actually think they are before you even get to measure them and find out the exact answer. Okay, so let's try a pin. How long do y'all think this pin is? Those are all great guesses, but let's actually find out how long this pin is in inches to be exact. Okay. So we line up the end of the pin with the beginning of the lines on the ruler and see how far it goes down the ruler. So this pin is about 5.5 inches long. So y'all all guessed great. Does anyone have any questions or comments about inches or about length? Okay, great. Well then let's move on. Okay, everyone's going to get in a group of 4. And in your group, you're going to pick 3 different objects that you would like to measure and estimate the length of. Make sure you know how to use the ruler and that you place the ruler at the correct spot at the beginning of the lines of the ruler, not at the beginning of the ruler. And you measure the object from the beginning to the end. And then you're going to record how long before you measure, you're going to record how long you guess and you think that the object is. Then after that, you measure it, then you're going to record how long it actually is. Does everyone understand what you're supposed to be doing? Good. Okay, and as you're working, I'm going to walk around and make sure that the objects that you pick are good measurements for inches. And I'm also going to make sure that these are good examples and ideas of what you can measure with inches. I'm going to make sure that you understand the directions, the activity, and the concepts that I actually taught today. So say a student is doing really well. I'm going to go up to them and tell them how great their examples are, and this is a really good idea, and you can really use this for inches. And then if another student is doing really good with guessing and getting really close to their answers, then trying really hard on their guessing, I'm going to encourage them and tell them, great job, and those are wonderful guesses, and even if you're not right, it's okay to just guess and estimate how long you think that this object is. And then I'm just going to keep telling them they're doing such a good job and make sure they're all on task and they're not talking in their groups. Okay, so after they're done with their group work, they'll get back together as a class, and I'll say, does anyone remember what length is? Exactly, length is how long something is from the beginning to the end of it. You can measure the length of a road, someone's hair, someone's foot. You can pretty much measure anything in the real world with inches to an extent. Okay, so where's the correct place to start measuring on this ruler? Great, you start where the lines actually start, not at the very end of the ruler, and rulers will differ, so it just depends on which one you have. You measure the object all the way down, and where it stops is how long it actually is. What unit of measurement do we learn about today in class? Correct, we learned about inches. Would you measure something like an airplane or a football field or something really large with inches? No, probably not, because there's actually, you'll want to use a bigger unit of measurement that we're actually going to learn about tomorrow. So we'll figure out how you can measure a football field or an airplane. Would you measure something like a foot or a pin or something in the classroom that's, relatively small? Yes, most likely. Inches is a great way to describe how long something is. Okay, does anyone have any questions or comments or anyone confused about anything? Okay, great. Well, thanks for listening.